Hey, how's it going? I'm Chris at PearsonCopy.com, and I'm here to help your brand make more sales with email. Today, I'm going to break down another welcome email. This is from a brand called Bulldog. I believe it's a child company of a company called Edgewell. I didn't do a whole lot of research into the background on that, so if you want to, you can go check that out. But this is a welcome email. Sign up to their list for 15% off coupon code. And I'm going to go ahead and break down this welcome email just to show you kind of what I see. Some things I think they're doing great, and some things that I would test into just to see if we can get a better open rate, click rate, or click through rate, and also sales off of this welcome email as a solo email or as a welcome series. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. Bulldog does something a little bit more direct than the other brands that I've seen so far. We've done roughly 5 or 6 videos now. They put the coupon, or not the coupon code, but they put the offer right at the front of the subject line. So 15% off just for you. They go right in for it and they say, hey, this is the 50% off you signed up for. Here it is just for you. And then also in the subject line, they say, welcome to Bulldog newsletter. So that's pretty standard, pretty straightforward for a brand to do. With that being said, I think that being more direct, more clear is more important than being clever. So I commend them for this. One thing that I would be careful with that I've seen after, only 6 videos now, but over just the dozens and hundreds of emails I've seen, filters in Gmail, filters in Yahoo, filters in even what is Max email client? I can't remember what it's called. But they might pick up on the 15% off. They might pick up on various words and filter that into the promo tab or even into the spam folder, depending on how strict those filters are for your subscribers. So I would just be careful with that. Starting with welcome to Bulldog newsletter and putting the 50% after, that can make sense. They may have been testing to flip this around because that subject line is pretty long. So even on desktop, this could get cut off, and on mobile, it'll definitely be cut off. So leveraging the preview text to put half of this subject line into could help desktop and mobile. So that's something I would just say here. I think it's pretty straightforward. It's very clear, but I would test splitting that up into the two subject line and preview text, and also maybe moving the 15% out of the subject line entirely. Those are different things you can test with it and just see what will get you the clicks and the opens. So yeah, there's that with the subject line. Next piece, again, obviously we're going to go to the from name and from email. Something here that kind of caught my attention. Bulldog Skincare, that's the brand. Great. Bulldog at em.bulldogskincare.com. They're using a subdomain to send their emails, so they might have some deliverability issues going on. Again, I've mentioned before in other videos, there's various ways to address deliverability. I can help with that, but that's not something I'm going to cover in this video right now. So I would try from name from Bulldog Skincare and just say, hey, this is first name at Bulldog Skincare. I'm the skincare scientist, or some kind of personality, some kind of title, maybe the CEO, something to make this feel more personal, to make an emotional connection up front, as opposed to just, hey, we're another brand in your inbox that's sending you digital billboards. Hopefully you'll click on and buy. While that will capture anywhere from 1 to 5, maybe even 10% of the market in the inbox, the other 95, 90, 85% of people need a couple emails, need a little bit to get to know you, need a little bit to make an emotional connection before they buy. So there's a lot of opportunity that brands like Bulldog and Charbroil and other ones that I've done that are missing, because they're not making their emails feel like they're from a person. They're going straight for the big brand feel. And that's a strategy. That's fine. If you have a big enough list, that can work. But if you're working with a smaller list, I'd say probably under 100,000, the personal feel, making the email feel like it's coming from an actual person is probably going to work better than going with the big brand feel. So with that rant over, I'm going to go into this next piece. The reply to email goes to this Edgewell domain. I'm assuming Edgewell is the parent company of Bulldog Skincare, so I'd imagine that's why. This is probably a support email that all emails go to, and a support team handles that. This kind of threw me off when I got the email, because I was like, wait, so this isn't Bulldog, this is some other company. So instantly there's a barrier here for trust. I want to trust this company. I want to see what they're offering. I want the 15%. And then they send me off. My reply goes off to this other company that's related to Bulldog, but it's not Bulldog, right? So that's something that maybe I would test and change. Again, might be deliverability, might be customer support stuff. Whatever they're testing or trying to do here, I think I would try and iron out and make it from a person, if not from a brand, but make it from Bulldog Skincare directly. So moving on down, I like that they have a simple logo, Bulldog, Nature, X Science, or Nature and Science. Simple, easy, clean logo, just gets in and out, gets out of the way. Next, this is the first email of the emails that we've done that actually has an actual menu, and it has the main, like, get free shipping on every order. What could be smoother has at the top. So it's just a feature of ordering from Bulldog. I think this is stacked too much. There's too much here. Somebody's going to see there's a subject line. I'm looking for my 15%. There's Bulldog. There's a menu. I have no reason to click on these right now because I don't have my code yet. Free shipping, cool, great. I have no reason to use it because I don't have my code yet. And then they scroll into the we're giving 15% off just for looking. So while this may seem subtle and this may not seem like a whole big stack here, but this is a lot to go through. If you're on your phone, this is going to feel a lot longer because it's stacked and it's squished together on the mobile. Even if the text is minimized, it's still going to feel like you got to scroll, 3-4 times to get to the offer. So that's something I would test into. If they've tested and this works better than not having this here, fantastic. But I would test removing this entirely and just using the logo, getting right to the offer. So yeah, the offer, what subscribers actually got on the email list for 50% off. We still have yet to see a code. So this is something that I've stressed in the other videos is like 10, 15% of your buyers are going to click through with the intent of using that code. So let's get out of the way and give them the code. I think the graphics are great. I think the way they set this up with the products on the rocks, it has a texture to it. It just feels like a unique brand. This is great. The thing that I would test is maybe making this smaller, cutting it off, maybe not using the graphic for the 15% off part, but for the products, yes. Shrinking this down so we can get to the actual code. It takes me a while to get into the actual copy. One more thing. I think this wood stand, I think it's wood. It looks like wood, but wood stand, wood handle. This is really cool looking. Like I would be okay with this as an aesthetic on my bathroom counter. So that's something I appreciate about Bulldog here with what they're doing. So yeah, first paragraph. This is like the first official piece of copy. This is we're giving 50% off just for looking. So that's the first piece of copy, right? But the actual like written word outside of the direct offer here or the headline is going to be this. So something here that I noticed, I appreciate that they're using like welcome to Bulldog. That's standard. Great. It's time to take your first step into our world of powerful skincare products designed with the best of nature and the best of science. So two things. One, it's time to take your first step into our world. So great. That's awesome. But that's a great start. Like, hey, welcome into our world. It's world building, right? So if you've come across any other email marketers like InfoSpace, or even in product and in e-com brand space, or even people who write scripts for movies, or people who write novels, stories, any kind of storytelling, there's an element of world building going on. So you can invite people into the world, and they can be involved in that world. And I think that Bulldog does this. They start that process, and then they cut it off with boilerplate corporate copy. And they say, welcome into our powerful world of skincare product designed. Right there is when it stops. It's like designed for, and this is their chance to make their brand stand out and make it sound unique and make it different than every other brand that sells skincare product to primarily, from what I assume, men. Okay. But instead they go with the best of nature, which means what? And the best of science, which means what? The best of nature. I don't know what that means. That doesn't give me any kind of tangible, physical, no emotion, no sensory like connection to this copy. What does that mean? And then best of science. This is something that maybe a little too far out left field, but like quote unquote science over the last like 2 or 3 years as the recording of this video. Science isn't like a word you can lean on just willy-nilly now and expect people to trust that a white lab coat is the right thing, right? And I'm not trying to be conspiracy theorist or anything, but like this is just where's the mindset of the market? Like what do these words actually mean to them? What's the context they're using to define these words? And I think that Bulldog, the first half of this, like welcome to our world, and they could have gone with a unique personality. This is the way we do business. This is the world we're in. But they went with boilerplate corporate copy, and I think they could be losing click-throughs and sales because of this. Because it's like, again, best of nature. I don't know what that means. You need to give me a tangible, sensory, something for me to hold on to as context. And then best of science, what does that mean? Like prove it. Like what do you mean best of science? Best of science means like tests, lab codes, studies, all of these things, testimonials, reviews, doctors. Like that's what comes to mind when I think of science. And there's nothing of that in this email. So they're just claiming it, but they're not proving it. So that's something here. The other thing with this paragraph that I think you could break down and maybe test into is, okay, best of nature. What does that mean? Give me examples. Best of science. Show me proof. Let's get doctor testimonials. Let's get all this stuff that makes best of science actually tangible and it has context. And then they finish it off with the please enjoy 15% off your first order. That's pretty standard, pretty straightforward, right? And then moving down the email. So this is a pretty short welcome email. I think they do a great job of just going direct for the offer. Here's the 15%. Go buy. Go spend what you're going to spend on. I think they do great at that. The coupon code, however, which I've mentioned in other emails, one, this could be auto-generated. which means it could be just a simple welcome 10 or Bulldog 10 or Bulldog 15, sorry, for the 15% off. But in the save, in the PDF, this is what it gives me. But if this is not, and this is what you're auto-generating for people, everyone gets a unique code. I would suggest changing it to Bulldog 10 or Bulldog 15, whatever the coupon code amount is, so it's easy to remember. Because once somebody clicks go to shop now, if it doesn't auto-populate in their shopping cart, they're gonna have to go back and forth between the email and the site and all that. And it causes way more friction than needs to be. If there's somebody that's ready to buy and they have to remember BDNOJFSBH4J4, one, if they're on their phone, they're not going to do it. Like, they're just straight up not going to do it. They're not going to remember that. And if they try and copy and paste it, it's going to be a pain in the butt. If they are on desktop, they might highlight it, copy, paste it, and then they have to keep that. Remember that they copy and pasted that as they shop. And if they get distracted, they're going to forget they have it and they have to go back to email. There's just a ton of friction there. So make sure, one, if you click shop now, it's auto-populated in their cart next time they buy. Or two, make it something simple like Bulldog 15 that they can actually remember if they do spend some time shopping, leave, and come back. That's something I would change about that. So great they're using 15% off. That gets people in, gets people buying, but I would just shorten that or make it easier to remember for a coupon code. The rest of the email is pretty straightforward. Shop now button, which goes to the site. There is a click tracker on it, so I'm assuming it auto-populates with the code, or it just says, hey, this is the email it came from. Pretty straightforward, pretty standard when it comes to email marketing. And then something I haven't seen in the other emails, they've got some terms and agreements when it comes to the actual 50% discount. There is a limitation on it, which it looks like they're running through 8/14 of this year, 2022. Midnight, and it just goes through basically the terms and agreement if you're going to try and use this coupon. So bigger brands that don't use, or bigger brands that do this, or maybe are child companies of bigger conglomerates or something, do this just so that customers know what they're getting into when they're using the coupon, that it expires, and that legally they can only use it for a certain amount of time. So that's pretty straightforward. Again, usual footer information, social, website privacy terms, FAQ. And then down here, 2022 Edgewell. So again, I think Edgewell is a parent company. Bulldog Skincare is a child company of them. So with that being said, I hope this has helped you look at a welcome email for a brand a little differently. I hope that you can take some of this information, 1, 2, maybe 3 pieces of this back to your own brand welcome emails, and use it to make more sales with email. With that being said, if you want to see more of my videos, I do welcome emails, content newsletters, just various other promos and things that brands send out. I do breakdowns of those, or I'm doing breakdowns of those over on my YouTube channel right now. It's 100 emails in a 100-day breakdown challenge. If you want to check those out, go visit my YouTube channel. Check those videos out and follow along as I break down these emails and hopefully make you more sales for your brand with email. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.